Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. So there's this scientist who says one day, all of my findings are meaningless when taken out of context. That's part of an interview that he's giving, and the next day the newspaper runs and the headline says, "Scientist admits all of my findings are meaningless." When you take things out of context, you can make it say whatever you want to say. That's true of scientist quotes, but it's also true of the Bible. How many times have you heard somebody, when a situation is not good and they want to encourage another person, and so they quote Romans 8:28, and they say, well, the Bible says that God works all things together for good. And if that's as far as you go with it, you kind of think that there will be no bad situations in the world ever because, God works all things for good, right? Except when you take that statement in context, you find out that it doesn't mean that God doesn't allow there to be any bad situations in the world. In fact, Romans 8:28 and 29 says this. It says, "For we know that God causes all things to work together for good, for those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. For those he foreknew, he also predestined to become conformed into the image of his Son, that he, his Son, might be the firstborn among many brothers." So the thing is, what that verse is saying, that God works all things together for good, it isn't saying at all that God makes everything good in the world. Just like that scientist wasn't really saying that all of his findings are meaningless. When we put that statement in context, we discover that God works the good in believers' lives of, what is that good? Conforming us into the likeness of Christ. So God will use all the situations in our life for the purpose of making us look more like Jesus. So, the next time you're in a difficult situation, or, maybe you're going through one right now, rather than praying, "God, take this away, I don't like it." I mean, you might not like it, and that's fair, but I want to encourage you. Rather than asking God to take it away, I want to encourage you, God, what are you saying right now? How are you working in my life through this situation to make me more like Jesus? Because his goal has been from the beginning. Look at it in Genesis 1:26. From the beginning, his goal has been to make us in his image. In whatever circumstance you're facing today, I know that God can use it, that he will use it. If you are his child, he will use it to make you look more like his Son, and that's a beautiful thing. So now, will you go? Will you have a wonderful, Jesus-full day as you trust your Father to make you more like his Son? Be blessed.